how's it going? I've just last night I've fitted this hose pipe, and I've got the fittings and all and fitted it. Whoever stole that, fuck them, but I've got it back. Right. Now, this old hose pipe is done. It's fucked, like there's nothing you can do with it because there's holes all along it. So I've found some wee ways you can use it. Like, say for a handle, I've been trying to do it with this, but the handle on it is not going to work. But a different kind of bucket, you could put it on the handle to make it easier to lift. So you could. So that's one use for it. Another use is making it in the shape of a snake and putting it on your garden, and that's that supposedly scares birds away, like. So you can do that. Or another use, you can unclog a drain. This drain's been giving us bother, and I'm just going to put it in and see if I can unclog it with this. So you can supposedly unclog drains with this because it's bendy. Well, it's not working anyway. But if I stick at it, it'll probably work. And then I'll unclog the drain. Another use for the old hose pipe is you can cut it and then place it over a blade on a saw. Cut it like along here, and then place it over the blade as a blade protector on a saw. Or on a children's swing set, you can cover the chains on the swing with it. And give more protection that way. There's loads of uses for it. I'm gonna have to put this is a thing for the hose, and it wraps around that. I'm just gonna have to put that in the shed because it's blowing away in this wind. We might have to fence this off as well because the goats are back last night, and if I had plants growing here, they definitely eat them, like. So we can either put a fence along here and just along that their whole garden and up again and around, but they can still come over them rocks there. I don't know if you can see them, but they have a habit of running up and down them rocks. Unless we could put a gate there as well, but still the problem with the rocks. So we're going to have to figure something out here. Get rid of these goats. Right, we're going to have to dig this up, but it's been very wet today, so I'm a bit hesitant to dig it up because the soil will be all mucky and all. But there's potatoes from last year covered with blight. They got blight, they're buried in there, I never dug them up. So that's going to be a hand and a half, and it's going to be disgusting, they'll stink, and they're disease ridden. So look forward to that in an episode. We'll do that. I planted some fruit bushes around here last year, and I think that's possibly one there, so it got overgrown with a docking. And this could be another one, although I'm not sure if it's wild or not, but I planted something that resembled that. And this could be another one. But I'm going to have to wait till they start showing leaves and try to identify them and see if they really are the right ones. Because look at that, the soil's all waterlogged here, it's completely wet. So they're not going to thrive. I'm going to have to plant them in that raised bed over there, if I can dig them up. Look at these daffodils, they're very nice. You want to plant flowers in your garden because they'll attract the beneficial insects that are the natural predators of pests, such as aphids and all that crack. Like ladybugs and stuff and bees, they'll attract them. And that means these bugs will attack the pests in your garden. And that way they'll keep your plants safe. So you want to plant some. I'll get a list and put it on my blog of what flowers attract what animals or bugs. Right, so we've got some more weed control fabric. This is the same stuff we put in the bottom of the raised bed yesterday. So all we need now is some staples, because then we can staple it into that one that already has compost up in the greenhouse. So we just have to buy some staples. It's very bad weather today, so I may take a trip to the shop and get some stuff if I can get a lift. Just looking at my greenhouse here, and surprisingly everything's still wet on the soil department. I think the condensation you can see there is causing it to condense on the soil and keeping it watered, so that's good. We don't need to water it today either. An important part of gardening is planning what you're going to do next and maximizing the use of your time. So at some point, maybe this year or next year, I'm going to expand these raised beds to here, across this plot here, and because that's the least waterlogged, but it doesn't matter because it'll be raised up. So I'm going to expand all across here with raised beds. I just need to get more planks, and then I'm going to have to take care of this problem here, these rushes. I've got some spray that kills rushes, so I'm not going to be growing anything in this part for a while because it's so waterlogged. But once I kill the rushes, I can plant more. So I'm just going to do that at some point. I'll have to get a sprayer off my uncle and just walk over and spray the whole thing. This is the stuff we're going to use this for to kill the rushes. There's instructions on the back. You just mix it in the water and then put it in a sprayer you put in your back and spray the rushes. So anything growing here will be taking away nutrients from what we want to grow. So we're going to have to go around with a strimmer and strum all around these beds here, and then either go in with a scythe and cut these rushes down, or get my uncle with his tractor to do it in a cutting machine, and then rake them up and throw them in the compost, and then spray them with that stuff. So we're going to do that soon. We've got a few things here. We've got this Miracle Grow. Now a lot of organic people will be whinging, you can't use that. But if you're just starting out and you don't know what you're at, Google it, but you could use that, but it wouldn't be organic then. So if you're trying to sell organic stuff, you can't really, even these aren't organic either, these are chemical fertilizers. So maybe you shouldn't use that. And this compost maker, you just scatter it over the compost heap every week or two, and that breaks down the compost. You've got weed all here as well, fast acting weed killer. You don't really need to use that if you pull the weeds, so you don't. And then we've got this stuff, poultry manure. Now you can dig that into the ground in November, I think, for it to be ready now. You're in the risk of burning your plants if you put it in too close to the time, I think. We've got this thing as well. It's a weed burning device. The clicker there is broke, so the clicker won't spark, but inside this can is propane. So if you wanted to, you could spark that up and burn the weeds away. It's not chemical like, it's more user friendly, but it's propane and all, so it's nature friendly. But the propane would be a problem maybe. But yeah, you can use that to burn weeds. I'd recommend using it around your front door or something, not where any plants are, because you run the risk of burning the plants too. Days I just found these watering cans up there, so that'll be really helpful watering stuff, but they're full of spiders. So we're going to have to do something about that. Maybe run them under the tap. But yeah, that'll be good for water and stuff. And you'd want to get a bird feeder like this. Feed the birds so they don't eat your plants. Put food out for them and they won't eat your plants. This earlier, there seems to be some sort of disease on this strawberry plant. The leaves turning brown, and it's brown in the stem there too. So I'm going to have to Google that to see what's wrong with it. I might have to prune it off, but that'll only leave one leaf. I'm best to prune it off in case it fucking spreads. The rest of them seem to be doing alright, except that one at the back, so I'm going to have to prune it and see. So we have an outbreak of some sort of disease. Here's the healthy plant here. Notice how it's all green. Here's another healthy plant. There's two healthy plants, right? And then there's these ones. Look at them leaves there. It's going brown at the edges and wilting. Same here. brown at the edges and wilting. Now I've looked them up. 4 of them have this stuff. 4 of them have this. Look at that one, wilting. Brown at the edges too. And they seem to be going brown at the stem as well. So, see that brown right at the stem, at the bottom of the stem, the base. So I'd want to control this disease before it flares up. I've been researching it and it could be verticillum wilt. But the leaves are supposed to turn brown and then red. So I don't know if that's it. Could be a number of things. Can't get a straight answer out of Google. So I'm just going to cut these branches off and take them in and study them and see. I might have to dig one up, dig a plant up and check the roots to see what kind of disease it is. So I'm just going in with the scissors and snipping off the root, or snipping off the branch. And we're going to save these branches here. Don't want to put them in anything else. I'll just put them in my pocket here. We'll save these diseased branches and study them. See what we can find. I don't want to cut off too many fucking... Look, there's both of them are getting... I'm going to water them as well and see maybe it's lack of water. We're going to have to snip them all off. Because otherwise it'll spread. So now we're fucked. We've got two plants with 1 leaf on them. And this one I don't want to cut them off. We'll just leave them, but we're going to water them now thoroughly. Just in case that's it. Just watered all the plants. Just in case it was a lack of water. I'm going to place these back in. Place all the healthy ones at the back and the brown ones up at the front so I can take them out again once I figure out what this disease is. Right, so I've been looking up if they're brown edge leaves, like if you can see there, the edges of the leaves are brown. You see? And I've looked this up. Brown edge leaves is a number of things. It can be too hot or too dry. But it's not that hot outside. It's kind of fucking cold. Container mix could be saturated with chemical salts. So water repeatedly to flush out excess salts from container mix. I'm going to do that now. All day. These have been splashed with strong chemicals. I don't think that's the case. And there's brown on the edge of the stems as well, at the base of the stem. So if there's brown patches on leaves or stem, it could be a fungal disease or other infection. So we may have to dig one up and see. And lots of the leaves are dropping off, so I've looked this up and it's rapid temperature or light change. And that seems to be bang on the money because it was in a shop and now it's outside and it's cold. So we could have a winter here. Sudden loss of leaves. The rapid change in temperature. So we may have to bring them inside. So I'm going to do that now. So we're just going to bring the strawberries in at night. Because there's probably the temperature change that has caused them all them leaves to die off. I don't think it's a build-up of salt. Because that's just compost I've just used, so it's probably the temperature change. I think that's the right one. So we're going to just bring them in and set them on a windowsill. Take them out for a couple of hours a day into the greenhouse and do that for the next couple of weeks. So that way they'll get used to the temperature outside and we'll be able to keep them outside then, and it'll be warmer by then too. Right, so I'm just going to place them on this windowsill now and take them outside and put them in the greenhouse for a couple of hours every day for the next 2 weeks. That'll get them used to the temperature outside. There's high pressure coming too, so it'll heat up. That's me for today. Didn't get much gardening done today because the soil's so wet. But tomorrow's a new day and I'll be back at it tomorrow. So signing out.